All right, man. So I'm gonna put this video up as soon as I'm done with it. So I seen JB Bickerstaff got robbed for Coach of the Year. We seen literally Dan Campbell get robbed just like this. He beat Minnesota twice, only lost 2 games, and they still didn't give him the Coach of the Year. And I tell you, it has something to do. It has a lot to do with Detroit's history. I keep telling y'all that, man. The powers that be hate that Detroit was once a proud, dominant Caucasian city, and it turned into a black city. You know what I'm saying? I'll be trying to get y'all game on the history of the city of Detroit, like Albert Kobo. I've done videos on Saddam Hussein, getting the key to Detroit. Detroit, it wasn't always it was always corruption in Detroit for a long time. If you didn't know, Detroit is a French name. And it's no coincidence. They don't want Detroit to win championships. They don't want Detroit to have nothing. And that's why you had Gilbert Arenas come out and say that they were going to try to get Cade Cunningham out of Detroit. And that's what they want. They favor Boston, but they hate the city of Detroit. And believe it or not, they have that same vitriol for the city of Chicago, another proud black predominant city. At least I'm not sure if that's the same way, but it's always been known like that. And outside of Michael Jordan and maybe a couple years in the Artis Gilmore era, which I believe Artis Gilmore won MVP, Chicago has never been good. They have never went out that way to make sure Chicago was good. So a lot of this is deep rooted in the heritage of these cities. Boston is historically known to be a racist city, and it has to be said. Then go look up, what New Edition had to say about Boston. Go look up Mark Wahlberg. He has a hate crime against 2 ethnic groups: a group of 6th graders or 4th graders throwing rocks and calling them slurs, and I believe he's also, I'm gonna use allegedly, knocked out a fucking Asian guy's eye. And he asked Trump to pardon his hate crimes, and Trump wouldn't do it. I think it was on the first. So I have to say this to paint the vivid picture for you to understand that's what it is. Dan Campbell went through it. I told y'all when it came down to the Pistons being in the Eastern Conference Finals, they robbed the Pistons. They wanted the Knicks there. They didn't want Detroit there because Detroit was going to mess up their finals. After they let it ride with Indiana and OKC Thunder and the ratings wasn't what it was, they knew Detroit was going to pile drive the Knicks. It wasn't going to be competitive. Cade Cunningham, crack ribs, they had no answer. So they made sure they robbed the Pistons. The Pistons was blowing through the cast, and then the whistles came out. Now, if you didn't believe me when I said it before about this shit being rigged, now look at it. Look at Dan Campbell. He lost the Coach of the Year to a guy that's in his division that he beat 2 times that year, came back the first game in Minnesota, last game of the year, to wrap up the #1 seed, defeated him, obliterated him, and they took it from him. And this is why you have players that don't want to play in cities like Detroit, Milwaukee, Indiana, OKC, and the only reason San Antonio, OKC is getting they shine is because they want to do this international push. That's why the game is soft now. There's no way Joe Mazzulla should have won over JB Bickerstaff. And at the end of the day, and also, if Joe Mazzulla won Coach of the Year, shouldn't Jaylen Brown have been MVP? Let's keep it real. Shouldn't Jaylen Brown have been MVP by that thought? But we know they have an issue with Jaylen Brown because of his views amongst the black community. This is a joke. This is a full-blown joke. So Joe Mazzulla wins 2025-2026 NBA Coach of the Year over JB Bickerstaff and Mitch Johnson. I told y'all, they prefer Boston, they prefer LA. Ain't none of this, the NBA is straight fixed. So y'all know these voters are a joke. If this is the case, Jaylen Brown should have been MVP. And this is why when you turn on ESPN, front page, you see this. The Western fucking Conference Finals in the NHL, and you see these motherfuckers up here, regardless if it's on ESPN or it's on Peacock. Nobody care about the NBA no more because it's full blown. They're not even trying to hide the fix. Joe Mazzulla received 62 first place votes to 29 first place votes to JB Bickerstaff. Pack it up. Shout out to Charles Lee for being on the pack it up. I told y'all this NBA shit ain't real, bro. This sports shit is not real. It's all fixed. It's all fixed. They beat Boston. They had a higher seed than Boston. Even with Boston missing Jason Tatum, you can say Boston had still a more talented roster than the Pistons did. You know, and this is what they do. This is why it's hard to get guys in free agency to come to certain cities. Because they make it where it hurts your brain. You can't. How did JJ Redick even be on there? Is that a fucking joke? Tiago Splitter, I have no. How did the Phoenix coach get on there? For what? Charlotte, I get, a little bit high. Tiago Splitter, I get. Got a raw deal in Portland. Quinn Snyder, I get. I like Quinn Snyder. I like what Atlanta did. It's a joke. I told y'all they took that. Then people call me crazy conspiracy theorist. That's not really my thing. But I told y'all they cheated deal. They knew the Pistons making it to the finals and you giving it to Joe Mazzulla, who got knocked out in the first round, even though the voting happened before the first round. I'm telling you, dog. When we win our championships matter more than all the Lakers and Celtics championship combined. San Antonio's do, ours do, Dirk's do. They fixed the championship for the Lakers. They fixed the championship for the Boston Celtics. All that shit is fixed. They want them to be successful. The Celtics wouldn't even have had the bleak period they had after Bird if it wasn't for Reggie Lewis dying, and if it wasn't for and then also they lost what's the brother's name they lost? Len Bias. The Celtics was gonna be on top forever. And I'm telling y'all probably was saying I'm crazy about the shit being. I hope y'all believe me now, bro. This shit is fixed, bro. This shit been fixed. Tim Donnie, he told y'all a long time ago. They have a big issue with Detroit. I told y'all that. I've been telling y'all that. Ain't no way Joe Mazzulla should have won Coach of the Year. Based off what? That's why I say don't give these clowns your viewership. Adam Silver, David Stern been destroyed the NBA. They've been destroyed the NBA. Look what they've done. They've created an environment. For international players to thrive. They don't care nothing about their American players. Cade Cunningham was the only American player that made first team All NBA. Come on now. They don't care about an American player. They want to go international, and they don't care. Think about it like Disney with Star Wars or Marvel. They don't care if they lose plenty money. They don't care if they lose money on pushing feminism and pushing agendas. They don't care. They want to get their point. They want to get their point across. They want to force you to buy into. They want to force you to buy into the feminist push, the emasculation push, and they want you to buy into this international push. Don't buy into it. Stop watching. I tell people that all the time. Don't watch. Adam Silver is the devil, bro. Him and David Stern was the devil. They were the devil. I'm going to keep saying that. They were the devil. Think about it. When the Pistons won the championship the first time, 88-89, that same day they celebrated their parade, what did they do? They took Rick Mahorn off the team in the expansion draft. I'm telling you, man, this is deeper than basketball, man. I told you, that's why I turned that shit off, man. I don't watch that shit, man. I peep in every now and again, but it's hard to respect it, bro. It's hard to respect it. They robbed this man blind. They robbed this man blind of an award. And they did the same thing to Dan Campbell. So don't tell me to fix anything. Ain't none of this fair, bro. None of it. But hey, Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live with drop video. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Yeah, let me know what y'all think, man. But I'm not surprised, man. Hit the link in the description. Find me everywhere there. Peace.